You piss off the government with Bitcoin, they'll step on you. And I do agree with that. So you guys keep saying, well, we're going to take on the government of America, the centralized banks of America. They will step on you. They have guns, big guns. And I'm an ex-Marine, I'm a former Marine. So I understand what it's like to enforce the monetary system. For full disclosure, I own Bitcoin, and I understand why I do it, but I also own more gold and silver. I've been in silver since 1964 when I was a kid, and gold since 1972 when I was flying in Vietnam. And in my point of view, it's not who's right or wrong, gold, silver, or Bitcoin. It's just how much do you have? And that's my point of view on this whole thing. So we don't recommendations on, if you don't like it, don't touch it. You know, this thing of the reason I own gold, I started with gold and silver when I was 16 in silver and then 22 in gold, was I don't trust the banks. It's pure and simple. You know, the Fed and the US Treasury, because I studied that stuff. I flunked out of school, but I do know about the Fed, and I do know about the Treasury. They're two different people. They're supposed to be, but today they're one. They're called Janet Yellen, Secretary of the Treasury, who was head of the Fed. It's exactly the reason you should be in Bitcoin, also gold and silver. Why do you Bitcoin guys have to dump on gold and silver? And why do gold and silver guys have to dump on Bitcoin? I don't understand. You think gold and silver is the enemy when really it's communism. I don't know if you follow American politics, but when Joe Biden just said he's going to put Janet Yellen as Secretary of the Treasury, and she was head of the Fed, Federal Reserve Bank, that's communism. That's hardcore communism. That's centralized government. So I think what Biden has done is made our cases for gold, silver, and Bitcoin valid. In 2017, that Bitcoin hit 20K, I think, and it crashed down to 3,000. And then when I talk to guys like Raoul Pal and all that, other guys who know about the Bitcoin phenomenon, they say what happened in 2017 was there was no money behind Bitcoin. He says in 2020, there's money behind of it now. And Raoul Pal says there's a wall of money behind of it now.
Bitcoin boom beating gold and silver. What does that mean? It means you better buy as much as you can now. The train is moving, the dollar is dying, silver is still affordable for everyone. And as the dollar crashes, what counts is not price, but how many coins of gold, silver, or Bitcoin do you own? And why I sent this here is because I first started buying silver in 1964 when I was 17 years old. And the reason is I didn't know. I was a kid, a high school kid, and I saw this little copper tinge around the dimes and the quarters and the half dollars. I didn't know what that means, but there's a law called Gresham's Law. And Gresham's Law says there's something that we as human beings know what's real or fake. So I don't save dollars because I don't trust the US dollar. And I just save gold and silver and recently Bitcoin. And the reason is because of 1971, when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, the dollar became fake. So now that COVID has hit and they printed more money in 2020 than they did in the first 200 years of our country. And still people are saving dollars. You should be buying some gold, some silver, and if you can afford it, Bitcoin. I can buy a silver eagle for about $30. And everybody in the world can afford $30. But the average person has been conditioned to think about paper, fake money, fake dollars. At the same time, they're printing as much money as they possibly can. They give it to their rich friends. They don't give it to us. And then they print it and interest rates keep going down. So in 1974, when I got out of the Marine Corps, if I had $1 million, which I didn't, I could put $1 million in 74 into a savings and loan, a bank, in a certificate of deposit, and they would pay me 15% on my $1 million. So a lot of people have made a lot of money. They just put their money into the bank and they're being paid 15% interest. So $1 million back in 74 was worth approximately $150,000. Now, it's not a lot of money to retire on, but you could have retired on $150,000 in 1974. Today, I take $1 million into the bank, I might get 2%. So that means it went from $150,000 to $20,000. And after taxes, that $20,000 might be worth $15,000. In other words, since 1974, the US dollar has lost 90% of its value, and people still say to their kids, save money. You've got to be crazy. They're going to have to print so much money just to pay for all of the social entitlement programs so people don't riot. They can't afford to have any more rioting. So they're going to print more and more money, and people are still saving dollars or yen or euro or pesos. Right now, you should be saving gold, silver, or Bitcoin. And the thing is in the year 2000, I started buying gold at $250 an ounce. And today it's worth 10 times that much, approximately. So I'm very happy with my gold. And silver was like $2 or $3 or something, and now it's worth 30. And the Bitcoin I bought, thank God I was buying it at 9,000. And today it's worth over worth over $1 million. But the reason for that has nothing to do with gold, silver, or Bitcoin. It has to do with the incompetence of the Federal Reserve Bank, or the corruption of the Federal Reserve Bank, the US Treasury, and Wall Street. So I'm not saying Bitcoin, and people get into what I call pissing matches. Which is better, gold or Bitcoin? Who cares? The question is, how much do you have? That's all that counts right now. Because the reason you buy gold, silver, or Bitcoin is for the same reason. If you trust the US government or the central banks, the Fed, and Wall Street, then save money. But if you don't, then buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And the thing I like about Bitcoin is that I can run with it. It's just a number in my head. So when I started looking into Bitcoin, it was already starting to come up, so I started buying it around 9,000. And today, I just count the number of coins I have. That's it. And I'm buying more. The reason I like gold, silver, and Bitcoin is this. The trouble with the US dollar, the more it drops in value, the more they print. Let me say that again. The US dollar, the yen, the peso, the euro, as it drops in value, because interest rates keep dropping, they print more of it, and people save it. Talk about losers. Get it through your head. They're printing it. It's getting worth, it's worth less and less and less. Whereas Bitcoin, the thing I like about it, because the more valuable, more expensive Bitcoin gets, they print less of it. It's called a halving. So the price goes up, but the quantity comes down. And check the dollar out. The value of the dollar comes down, but they print more of it. Why would you save it? But it's the same with gold and silver. And the reason I endorse silver is because everybody can afford it. Today it costs you about $30 for a US silver eagle. I'm not saying it's going to make you rich, but if you have 20 million of them, you'll be rich. If you just kept saving silver, the way I kept saving gold, and now I'm saving Bitcoin, you don't have to go to college to save it. Just buy it, hide it. Buy it and hide it. You keep it out of the sight of the US government or your government. Just get as much as you can, because when this COVID thing finally blows over, the problems are still around. Our national debt is so high. We have so many people on entitlement plans. Our pensions are about to go broke. The US government is broke. Our debt to GDP in America today is 130% debt to GDP. At 90% debt to GDP, it's over with. So we went from 90% to 130%. That means we can't pay off our bills. But right now, if you can get your hands on gold, silver, or Bitcoin, I don't care which one, but it's better than saving fake money. So I like Bitcoin. I'm glad I bit the bullet at 9,000. It was hard because, gold was only about 1,800. So to buy Bitcoin was hard. But I'm glad I have it today. I'm still planning on buying more because I think, Bitcoin's probably going to go to $50,000. Gold's going to go to $15,000, and silver will probably go to $200. And you're going to buy it then? If you can't afford gold or Bitcoin, buy some silver. Just keep buying it, hold on to it, keep buying, hold on. Don't keep it inside a bank. But the ride in gold, silver, and Bitcoin is about to run. The reasons you buy them are the same. It makes no difference. The reason you buy gold, silver, Bitcoin, because I don't trust our government.
I just get pitched all the time. They said, give us your Bitcoin and we'll pay you interest for it. But you got no interest on it. Well, it's the same thing they say about gold. There's no interest on gold. I said, well, I don't need interest. But people who do will get sucked into what I call the fractional reserve fiat currency trap.